going to say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. I'll take that as an okay. First and foremost, once again, we thank each and every one of you individually, all of you together collectively, for the co-creation of this interaction. It is a great gift to us that allows us to experience our passion and our pleasure in communicating with all of you. Let us begin this transmission, which is titled the Mind-Body Meditation. It is based on what we have termed the 7 basic needs in life, in physical reality. Now, we're not going to do the meditation right now, but we're going to tell you how to do the meditation, and we will do a short version of it later on. For now, let us remind each and every one of you what the 7 basic needs in physical reality are. They are generally ordered by the amount of time it would take you to die if you didn't have it. The quicker ones being first. Now, some of them may seem like the lack thereof would cause you to physically die. Some of them don't necessarily seem that way, but they would allow you to experience, if you didn't express them, what you might perceive as a kind of diminishment of spirit, which could lead to the idea of depression and could lead to the idea of death, but it takes longer for most people. So let us begin to remind you of the 7 basic needs, first of all, before we go through the description of the mind-body meditation. Number 1, you need air. Without it, you will die physically relatively quickly. Now, please, before we continue, understand we are talking about the average, typical human. We understand that there may be beings on your planet that are shamans or medicine people or great teachers that may to some degree have been able to transcend some of the things we're about to say as basic human needs. But we're not talking about them, we're talking about what most of you would experience. So air. Very rapidly, without it, physical death will come. Next will be water. You will find that without water, you may last roughly about a week. Many of you might think the next would be food, but it's not, it's sleep. You need sleep. You need to connect to spirit. You need to dream. You need to process in that way. You need to recharge in that way. And without it, you will find that in about, give or take, 11 days, you will start to go insane and probably start to die. Next is food. And you can last about 2 weeks without it, give or take. Now, after that, you find that the length of time gets a little bit longer and it becomes something a little bit different. So those are the first 4. Next is what you might typically call shelter. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean a house. It simply means whatever environment is conducive to you thriving in physical reality. If you are in a particular area on your planet that is comfortable and allows you to exist without an actual typical shelter, that's fine. So we are really just talking about a conducive environment, be it a house or living in the jungle. Next comes the idea called connection or relationship. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship with a human. It can be a relationship with an animal. It can be a relationship with a tree, with a rock, with the cosmos, with all that is. But some form of sense of connection, of belonging, of being part of all that is also necessary, or you will sort of start to feel a spiritual atrophy within you. You will feel cut off and lonely. Finally, you have the idea of what we might call creative expression. In other words, what we have talked about many times about acting on your passion, expressing yourself, the true self in life. The idea of this creative expression, if dampened down, if held back, will again cause that internal, emotional, and spiritual atrophy that will allow you to feel that you are not being you. Again, may allow you to feel disconnected from all that is in a variety of ways and can lead to depression and death. over long periods of time. So these are the 7 basic needs. If you allow yourself to have air, to have water, to have sleep, to have food, to have shelter, to have connection, and to have creative expression, your life will be fulfilled. Anything that you need will come to you that will fulfill you on these basic needs. There are different extrapolations of these needs, different, shall we say, sub-levels of these needs, expressed in a number of different ways, but these are the overall 7 basic categories. And if you can allow yourself to let your needs be fulfilled, then you can live a life of joy. Now, let me remind you that needs are not always the same thing as what you want. Sometimes what you want can coincide with what you need, but sometimes, and on your planet, sometimes not at all, it usually doesn't. Sometimes wants can simply be something from the negative ego that it may think it needs, which may have nothing at all to do with what you actually need to be fulfilled in life. So pay attention to the fact that sometimes what you want may have nothing at all to do with what you actually need to be a fulfilled person in your reality. Just a reminder. So now that we have stated the idea of the 7 basic needs in life that can allow you to feel fulfilled and live a life of creative joy, being who you are, who you truly prefer to be, the mind-body meditation that is based on these 7 needs will allow you to really link your mind, your body, your spirit, your higher mind, allow them to harmonize more strongly, and allow your life to accelerate, to be able to be open to letting these needs be fulfilled along the path of least resistance in your life. So, let us now describe this meditation. Do this when you wish. It is and can be a powerful permission slip to allow you to accelerate your energy and balance your energy in life. So, first and foremost, as we said, air. Each of these segments of the meditation will take 5 minutes. Not today, not right now, but when you wish, in a comfortable place, on your own schedule, on your own timing. So, air. When you decide to do this meditation, if you do, start with air, and for 5 minutes, just allow yourself to breathe. Gently in, gently out, and really start to appreciate the idea of how the air comes into your lungs, how it fills you up, how it energizes you. And then when you let it out, that feeling of release, that feeling of letting go of that which has nothing to do with who you truly are. In and out, the ebb and flow of life, force, and energy. Let it oxygenate you, allowing you to handle more energy, higher frequency energies. For 5 minutes, just feel the beauty of being able to breathe, the refreshment of the air that revitalizes and refreshes you. Just allow yourself to experience that for 5 of your minutes. If you need to set timers for this when you're meditating, that's fine. If you don't feel like you need it, that's fine. It doesn't have to be precise. You can shift from one moment, one basic need to the next when you feel that it's correct. Remember, like any permission slip that we may suggest, it's up to your own imagination, your own sense of your own body consciousness, your own sense of timing to decide when to flow from one thing to another. Let your imagination and your higher mind guide you in this. It doesn't have to be absolutely precise. All we're simply saying is that 5 minutes will suffice for each segment to give you the full effect of this particular mind-body meditation permission slip. So after you have allowed yourself to feel the beauty of the revitalization, of the oxygenation of the air that you breathe, then go to water. Now, if you actually wish in the meditation to take a sip of cool, refreshing water first, that's fine too. Again, let your imagination be your guide. But in that segment, allow yourself to feel the sensations, whether in your imagination or literally, of that cool, clear, refreshing water that you're drinking in, filling up your cells, plumping them up, giving you the medium by which communication can happen between the cells, giving you the medium by which the electric currents in your body can travel most efficiently, giving you that sense of connection to the water of the world, to the water that you are mostly made of as a physical being, to the water that covers most of your planet, to the rain that rains down upon you and allows things to grow. Feel all the aspects of the idea of that flow of water through you that again revitalizes and refreshes you and opens you up to deeper connections in the world through water. Allow yourself to go through that sensation and appreciate and be grateful for the idea of that sensation of the cool, refreshing sensation of water in your body, the slaking of your thirst, the hydration of your form, and anything else that comes into your imagination that will allow you to more fully appreciate and be grateful for the idea of that wonderful, life-sustaining water. And then you shift to the idea of sleep. Now, if you fall asleep in the meditation, that's fine. But allow yourself to focus more on the idea of the purpose of it. You can begin to feel the sensation, the coziness of laying down after a wonderful day and you're a little bit tired and you're excited to get some sleep and you feel yourself drifting off into that wonderful, restful place, feeling your energy calming down, feeling everything smoothing out and balancing out, that wonderful, cozy sensation of the blankets over you, your head resting on the pillow or wherever it is you like to lie down or sit up, and drift off into sleep, drift off into dreamland. Again, whether you actually do it or not, allow yourself to appreciate that what you're doing when you sleep is actually waking up into your true spirit self and making that connection to more of your being which resides in spirit. Because you never really leave spirit. You're all there right now. You're just dreaming that you've left, and that's what physical reality is. So when you ponder in this meditation the concept of going to sleep, it is actually waking up from the physical dream. So the idea is to wake up into more of your spirit self, make that connection, be aware of that connection, let that connection be like the charging of your battery, the realigning of your being, the order of your mind, the template level that determines what you experience in physical reality that you can rearrange in the direction of what you prefer to manifest in the physical world. Allow yourself to feel that connection to more of your being, the fullness of your being, and how much bigger you are as a consciousness. Be in that state floating. Feel the floating and the appreciation of that connection and the sensation of that beautiful floating on the currents of the ocean of creation as you drift off into dreamland, into dream time, in the timeless void. Allow yourself to ponder that for the 5 minutes. And then allow yourself to go into the idea of food. And again, if you wish to take a small bite of something that you enjoy and feel the pleasure of that sensation and the taste and the texture as it explodes in your mouth, and as you imagine or really chew and swallow, and you feel the revitalization and the energization of what it is that you are imagining or truly eating, and the gratitude and appreciation for the receiving of that sustenance and that support in life that energizes your body, that keeps it alive and thriving in your world. Allow yourself for that 5 minutes all of the enjoyment and the sensations of the idea of how food sustains you in your life. and allow yourself again that deep appreciation for that gift from your world that it supplies to you, that it uses to sustain you as extensions of nature. Because you are not in nature, you are nature. You are extensions of Gaia, of the earth consciousness, nature itself, and you are sustained by nature itself and all the teachers that the earth has to give you, that are natural, that work with you to expand your consciousness and also at the same time ground you to earth. Allow yourself to feel those wonderful sensations and different flavors and tastes rolling around in your mouth, on your taste buds, in your body, and the energy that comes from that as you move through life, as you see yourself gaining energy, being more active in life. Ponder that for that 5 minutes. And then move to the idea of shelter or environment. If you are in a place that you love, then appreciate it. Appreciate every angle of it, every corner of it, the color of it, the smell of it, the textures of it, the things it is made of. Or imagine the idea of your ideal dwelling or your ideal environment, whether it be indoors or outdoors. Feel upon you the sensations of either being in that dwelling or outside with the sun and the moon and the wind. Whatever it is that allows you to feel comforted, allows you to feel that you're thriving in that environment, allows you to feel that you are protected in that environment, not in the fear-based sense, but just nurtured and held in the arms of that environment, supported and sustained by that which is representative of your house. Again, be it inside or outside, but the product of all your beliefs that are in alignment and harmonious with who you truly prefer to be, that provide for you the dwelling, the environment, the world itself, in all of its physicalness, in all of its tangibility, in all of its sensations, that allow you to thrive and come and go and know that you will always have a place called home. And it will always welcome you. You will always belong there. Whether you move or not, whatever you call home, you will always belong because home is within you. And you take it wherever you go. As long as you are following the path of least resistance that is representative of the path of your passion, wherever you wind up through synchronicity will always feel correct, will always feel supportive, will always feel nurturing, and will always feel like home. Because you will be that home, and it will be reflected to you in the reflective mirror reality around you that you call the physical world. And allow yourself deep appreciation of that environment, whatever it may be. And then you move on to the idea of connection and relationship. Be it the people in your life, friends, family, lovers, matters not. Be it again an animal, a tree, a rock, the ocean, the stars, the cosmos, all that is. It doesn't matter. It only matters that you know you are connected and that you allow yourself to feel that sensation of belonging, of being, and knowing that you are worthy or you would not exist, because creation doesn't make mistakes. So if you exist, then you are needed. There is connection. There never is not connection. Sometimes we know you can feel disconnected. But just remind yourself, as we discussed in the transmission called The Power of Paradox, that you cannot have a feeling or an experience of disconnection unless you're connected. Because you are drawing from all that is as an aspect, as a reflection, as a facet of the multidimensional crystal of creation, of all that is. You are drawing upon that connection to create whatever sensation, even sensations that make you feel like you are disconnected, that you have no relationship, that you are alone, cut off. You're still creating that with your connection. So that sensation of being connected, being a part of something, community, or even a blade of grass, will allow you to know that you are indestructible at your core, that you cannot cease to exist because you belong to all that is, and that you are worthy and deserving of being your true self. And that you can appreciate the reflections that you get from all the relationships that you may attract in your life. Again, be it people or otherwise. Everything is a mirror in some way, shape, or form. It may not always show you a one-to-one reflection, but it is there for a reason. And the fundamental purpose of relationship is for everyone and everything in that relationship to reflect to everything else in the relationship what you need to know to become more of who you truly are, so that you can see yourself in those relationships. See something you need to know about yourself in those relationships, even as you are willing to support the others in those relationships to know what they need to know about themselves to become more of who they truly are. So have deep gratitude and deep appreciation for the relationships of all kinds in your life, no matter what they may be, no matter how they may come into your reality. Appreciate them and see deeply into them, the reflections they are there to show you, so that you may learn and you may grow and remember who you truly are. And then allow yourself to shift into creative expression. And it is this, the seventh segment, the seventh need of truly expressing your passion, that is the trigger for the formula that we have given all of you of acting on your passion to the best you can, with no insistence or assumption on the outcome, and remaining in a positive state no matter what happens. Because even if something happens you don't prefer, you have to know it's there for a reason. And if you stay in a positive state, you will get the benefit of why it's there. So the idea is that the seventh segment of creative expression, allowing yourself to actually take the actions that you prefer to take on your passion, will actually bring you all the other 6 basic needs through synchronicity, through the tools in the kit of passion. So don't hold back. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate your gifts. Give what you have to give. And remember, you can't just think about it. You can't just meditate on it. You can't just imagine the idea of creative expression. Physical action is the language of physical reality. If you don't actually take action on it, you're not grounding it in the reality, you're not speaking the language, and it's not reflected in your world. But remember, if you do have a gift to give, that is your first clue that there must be someone in your world waiting to receive it, or you would not be excited about giving it, because there would be no purpose and no point to it. If you have something to give, there is always someone waiting to receive it. Don't hold back from them. Don't deprive them of what you have to give that is a true reflection of your passion. Appreciate yourself enough to be yourself instead of attempting to be someone you're not. So spend that last 5 minutes, or whatever timing feels correct to you, to have true, deep appreciation for your ability to act on your passion, to be passionate about life, to be passionate about being passionate, to let that energy flow through you, to let yourself channel it and be that conduit, that valve through which beauty comes, through which grace comes, and be a living example of living your dreams. Because you never know who might see you and who might feel that you are in that state of beauty and grace, and you may never know that they saw you, but you may light up their life and change their life just by being a living example of being yourself as fully as you can. You never know. And remember, it's not about creating more impact, because just by being who you are and just by being where you are, you already have all the impact you will ever have. The idea of creating impact in the world is not creating more impact than you have, it's revealing the impact you already have just by being yourself. So allow yourself to bloom, to blossom, to flower, and allow yourself to become one of the many blossoms in the beautiful garden that exists and can exist on the version of earth you prefer to live upon. That will make all the difference in the world. Does that make sense? Yes. All right. Again, permission slips like this and any other are simply techniques and tools that allow you, if they align with your belief system, to give yourself permission to be more of who you are. That's why they're called permission slips. But the idea is that if your imagination decides in some way, shape, or form to add a little of this and add a little of that, change a little of this and change a little of that, whatever feels correct to you is correct. So let your imagination be your guide. You can start this meditation in exactly the way we described it, but over time realize it may shift, it may change. And ultimately, the whole point, as we have said, of any permission slip is to realize that you are the primary permission slip in your life because you're the one making the changes anyway. The permission slip isn't doing it for you. It's simply aligning with your belief system in a manner that allows you to circumvent your belief system in the way that you prefer to, because you say the tool makes it easier. But that's just a decision and a choice that you've made. Ultimately, you will realize you can just make that choice anytime you wish. And therefore, the idea of the mind-body meditation based on the 7 basic needs will become automatic, entrained within you. You will just know it as first nature, and you will shift as you prefer to, and you will know who you are. So, we thank you for allowing us to deliver this description of the meditation to you. And in return for the gift you have given us in allowing us to experience all of you, I ask you now, how may we continue to be of service? You may begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish.